Coming soon.
Who's the blonde? Who's the suit? Who's the fool? Who's the cat? Who's that girl? Who is that girl? Who are you? She's beautiful. She's impulsive. She's Madonna. And in 24 hours, she'll turn a mild-mannered corporate attorney into a wild-eyed fugitive from justice. All because she holds the key to a light he never expected.
Kiss me.
Coming soon to Superchannel. Secret toy factory, somewhere in Grenada.
Doc, working for this pirate toy company is a bitch. Even worse than that fat bastard Santa Claus.
Except for all that great reindeer meat, Blitzen was really horny. Look busy, I think I hear the boss.
They're all afraid of the pirate toy king.
Hi, Captain Kitty.
Sleepy and I are as busy as little elves working on your latest ripoff.
I've gone to great expense and danger to steal these plans from the world's biggest toy companies. What have you got to show me?
You're probably going to pretend to hit me when I tell you. You see? You're as predictable as my new invention here.
And what do you call that over there? Is that a real plane?
Boy, are you an idiot. It's too small to be a real plane.
It's a model.
It's a model. And the kids are going to love it. Sleepy, get the radium battery pack, which, by the way, is not included.
Yeah, and it's not rechargeable either. Once the kids use it up, their folks will have to buy another.
Just plug in the easily breakable cable, which is also extra, and here she goes.
Here she goes.
Nothing's happening.
It's because Piper Brains here forgot to turn the controller around. And, Captain, the swivel stands extra, too. What do you think, huh? Clever, huh?
I like it.
And so is the little recorded pilot's voice we've added. Listen to it speak. Come on, speak. Come on, boy, Sleepy.
Pilot the kid. Pilot the kid. Do you read me? Cleared for takeoff. You're my co-pilot, cadet. I'm counting on you to keep me flying.
How does the radium make it fly?
Radium? You just fall off the cabbage truck? It's the little wires attached to the wings that keep it in the air. And those are extra, too.
You're doing great, little lieutenant. You could become a cruise missile pilot.
Just as the kid gets really hooked, the battery runs out.
Mayday, run it, you! Oh, you killed me, you little shitter.
The kids will have to buy a new plane, a new pilot, and a new battery pack.
What'll the radium do to the kids?
Who knows? It could turn them into old men overnight, or they could stay young forever. What do you want? I'm not a liar.
I'll write a disclaimer at once. In Japanese. Ha, 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 ha.
The toy company gave us this toy detector. How does it work?
Karl Marx, the president of Marxist Toys, explained it to me. It's a radium-sensitive toy detector, Barbie, but you're a girl and it's probably too complicated for you. So it'd be a waste of my time to try to explain what these two arrows mean.
It's a toy detector. It's only a toy.
Wrong.
Oh, that's what you told me, Ken.
Give me a break, Barbie.
Said it was only a toy detector, and we got it from the toy company, so it's got to be just a toy.
Barbie, stick to looking pretty and let me handle this. What did you say?
What are you pointing your little toy at now, Ken?
Well, it indicates there's a little tin drum around here somewhere and a hole on its side. Yeah. It's the entrance to a cave.
You think it's just a toy cave?
Very funny, Barbie. I don't know why the detective agency assigned you to this job with me. Can't have just anything technical. This is really great. A stolen toy should be right about here.
Very good, children. Ha, 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 ha. I knew those dupes at Marx's Toys would send a couple of wind-up stooges after me. Want to play a game? You try to shoot me before I close the window.
Kill him!
Ha ha! Release the silly putty from the storage vat. Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
Uh-oh, let's roll. There's nothing silly about that, Putty.
Oh, Ken, look at this lovely stone.
Well, drop it, will ya? Jeez.
If that silly putty hits us, it'll bounce our brains up.
That shouldn't bother you any.
Look, another hole on its side.
Uh-oh.
Good, Ken, you kept your hat on.
It's the hat been through my brain. Oh, it's pirates like baby. With those toy dicks out of the way, I can try out the prototype I just stole from the Japanese. The toy electric toy. This is the flusher here. Whoa. I'll be the Steven Spielberg of the bathroom. Whoa.
Boom, boom. I lock the children in the room. 1, 2, 3, 4. I swallow the key, they can't open the door. I'm having so much fun.
Okay, Sailor Bill, drop that gun.
It's only a toy. I was only playing.
But this is no game, Popeyes. I'm here for the children of the world.
They're in the other room watching commercials.
Take me to Captain Kitty or I'll blow your nuts off.
Oh.
Surprise, I'm here. Get him, Bill. Get your hands on my tie. My hat.
Now let's see if I can get his head off with this letter opener.
Wait. I've got a much more commercial idea in mind for this bozo. He's wearing the perfect costume. We'll take him in the back, stuff his suit with cotton, and put lead in his shoes.
You mean you're going to take him out and dump him in the ocean?
No. We'll market him as a punching doll, the kind kids can kick around all day.
Oh, you're a genius, boss.
He'll never lose his hat. He'll be out for Christmas time. Pick him up.
He's a heavy bozo. Yeah, how does he keep his hat on anyway, boss?
Same way I do. Never wash his hair. Break out the rum.
Ken's wet footprints lead right to this door. Oh, dear. I wonder if he's going back into the closet.
I've seen man in a kid's toy chest. What's this?
Eat this, toy man.
Whoa.
Barbie, you did it.
Is that real blood?
You killed the pirate with his own toy gun.
So, you've killed Captain Kitty. Good work, Barbie. You've saved the company the expense of a hanging.
Let's tell Ken.
This is for you and Sleepy. I, Karl Marx, sole owner of Marx's Toys, hereby assign Doc and Sleepy the job of making Ken and Barbie America's most popular new dolls.
Thank you, Mr. Marx, sir. These two will be sleeping in every kid's bed before next Christmas.
Just think of our wardrobes, Ken.
Great, Barbie. I can get out of this 40s drag at last.
Well, get the lead out of your feet and put your hat on. You're the next Cabbage Patch Kid.
Wonderful.
Another great week of viewing comes your way beginning Monday, June 13th. The Danish film Twist and Shout takes us back to the era of Beatlemania and the joys and sorrows of young love. This touching film won Best Picture at the European Film Festival, shown in its dubbed version. Tuesday.
Arlington National Cemetery, 1968. They believed in loyalty.
I care about the United States Army. That's my family. And I don't like it when it's in trouble.
They believed in friendship.
Oh, is that what brought you boys together? Politics?
They believed in each other.
You'd be waiting for me to cheat. I got way too much character.
They had fought the war in Vietnam. Now they were fighting it at home. Academy Award winner Francis Coppola's Gardens of Stone.
On Wednesday, you'll love the award-winning NNTN comedy team. This time poking fun at the media, not necessarily the media.
Mrs. Reagan, every time we ask a question, your husband lies to us. How can we stop this?
Don't ask.
Also on Wednesday.
I know where we can get a gun.
Jamie is dead, and there's nothing that we can do to save her. Now, I happen to like Jamie, but John is still alive.
And who's next on his list?
You try it. You better settle down, John.
But I kept seeing her face, Clarissa. Didn't you keep seeing her face?
I'm dead now. You're gonna fry me for sure. I'll be your friend.
Thursday, mutineers stranded on the island of Tahiti disrupt the peaceful lifestyle of the natives. And so begins a bitter war. The island, shown in its dubbed version.
Throw down your weapons.
On one condition, that you promise us not to shoot.
You had better do what he says. You in there, Camp? You leave me no choice.
They call you traitor, let's trade.
On Friday, a stolen diamond turns a cross-country journey into a nightmare for Brooke Adams and Brian Dennehy in The Lion of Africa, exclusive to pay television.
25%.
Lady, you just bought yourself a one-way trip to Rodman. No guarantees.
Saturday.
Who is that girl? Who are you? She's beautiful. She's impulsive. She's Madonna. And in 24 hours, she'll turn a mild-mannered corporate attorney into a wild-eyed fugitive from justice. All because she holds the key to a life he never expected. Madonna, Grip and Dunn.
Kiss me.
Who's that girl?
Effective immediately, I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
On Sunday.
You'd risk worldwide nuclear war for your own personal financial gain. Nobody wants war.
You know you're a workaholic. Why don't you stop and smell the roses, huh?
Superman 4, Christopher Reeve, Gene Hackman, Jackie Cooper, John Cryer, with Mariel Hemingway and Margot Kidder as Lois Lane. Superman 4, his most important adventure, the quest for peace.
Action, adventure, comedy, drama. We've got it all for you here on television's brightest star. Coming soon.
Tell them they must leave the mission.
They say it was the will of God that they came out of the jungle and built the mission. They don't understand why God has changed his mind. You should never have become a priest.
But I am a priest, and they need me.
If you die with blood on your hands, you betray everything we've done.
If might is right, love has no place in the world.
A man of war. A man of peace. Now, from the director of The Killing Fields, comes this year's winner of the Best Picture Award at the Cannes Film Festival. The Mission.
You're watching Superchannel, television's brightest star.
blades are getting a little tiny bit dull. You know what? Your ice skates, the blades need to be protected. And you should always use skate guards on your skates, especially walking to and from the ice, because there's stones and there could be gravel or dirt. And you don't want to dull the blades of your skates. Now, I'm going to show you how to make a pair of skate guards, all of your own. And this could save you some money, and it just gives you a good feeling inside to know you made them. Now, what you need is an old piece of garden hose. You get this from Dad. You might be able to find a piece in the garage, but don't cut anything without asking first, of course. Now, we're going to make it the same length as the skate blade. I'm just going to measure it with my eye here, right about that long. Now, you have to cut this off right here. And I'm going to be using a sharp razor knife here. You might want to get Dad to help you with this too, or Mom, just to make sure that it's done nice and straight and nobody gets cut or anything. Now, cut it right off. There, that's pretty easy. Right off, and I'll just pull off the last little piece. Now I've got a piece of hose just the right size, and I want to put a slit down the hose so it'll fit on over the blade. For this, I'm going to use my vise. I'm going to put this right here into my vise, right like that. And I'm going to do it up just tight enough to hold it for me. Cut down like this. There we go. That's going pretty smooth. Straight down. I better just move this over a little bit to get the rest of it. There we go. Now, find where I stopped on the slit and start up again. There we go. All the way down the length of the hose. Now, take this out. And this will fit right on the skate blade. And we're going to use some elastic bands to hold it on into place once it's on. I'll show you. See how this goes right on the skate like that? And this part goes over here, just like that. Now, the skate blade is completely protected here, but we want to make sure it stays on. So I've got some thick elastic bands. I can put one around like that on the toe, and I can put one on the back. This one here I'm just going to put right around the blade and the hose like this and put it on a couple of times, just like this. That'll hold it on really, really tight. Now, when you're getting your skates sharpened, you make sure that you have someone sharpen them who knows how to do it, a professional. Never try to sharpen them yourself because they have to be done a special way. And you always keep your skate guards on so it doesn't rust and it doesn't chip, and always dry your skate blades off after you've been skating, and that'll keep them nice and shiny and silver. You keep your skate guards on all the time, to the ice and from the ice, and your blades will stay in great shape.
Hi kids, today we're going to do a trick that's involved with science. You know when you take a balloon and you rub it on your head and it sticks to the wall? Or else you take off a sweater really quickly and your hair stands on end and you feel sparks in your ears? That's static electricity. Now, magicians, you may not have known this, have more static electricity than anybody else, sort of a super static electricity. This trick involves a cigarette. You should always borrow one off of someone else so they'll have one less unhealthy cigarette to smoke. Now, on the front of the packages of cigarettes, it says that they're unhealthy to smoke, but they're not unhealthy to do magic tricks with. Watch. This is a lot of fun. You need to rub your magic wand or your finger through your hair vigorously so you get a good static charge, just like when you're doing it with the balloons. Now watch. Whoops, we didn't get enough on there. Just one second. Here we go. Super static electricity. There we go. Now the left hand does it a little differently. The right hand pushes it away. The left hand draws it towards. Watch. Here goes. Not bad. Now, you may think there are threads or strings or mirrors or trapdoors attached to the cigarette, but there aren't. This is one of the easiest tricks you will ever learn to do, and it takes a bit of misdirection. That's a word you hear me use a lot. Misdirection is one of the most important things in magic. Misdirection is making someone look somewhere that you want them to look when you're doing something else somewhere else. If I want you to look at this hand, This hand's doing the dirty work. I get everybody to look at the cigarette by pointing to it with my finger and telling you there's a static charge. There really isn't static electricity. All you're using is something you've used all your life. Your breath. Watch. That's all we've done. We blew the cigarette with our mouths, but because you're using your finger and you're pointing to that cigarette and they're watching your finger, they don't watch your mouth. So if you want to blow really lightly, you'll make that cigarette move. Watch. Even though I told you that, you probably still watched my finger instead of my mouth. That's how powerful misdirection is, and that's a lot of fun. You can do this trick for anybody, and you can be guaranteed that as long as you keep your finger right in front of it like that, and you're pointing at that cigarette, nobody's going to be looking at your mouth. Ta-da! Hi, kids. We're going to do a card trick today using a deck of cards. Now, card tricks are the most common of all tricks because out of all of the different types of magic illusions, close-up magic, etc., there must be thousands more card tricks than anything else. So whenever you're going to do card tricks for people, only do a few at a time. Don't bore them because they do get boring seeing the same tricks, choosing a card and locating it over and over and over. Now, this is an interesting trick, and because I need an assistant with this one, I'm going to explain the effect to you. Now, effect is the term that magicians use for what the audience sees. An effect is what happens to an audience's eyes. The secret, or the method, is what we really do. First, I'll explain the effect. What's going to happen is you get a friend to come up, or you can do this at his house, or it doesn't have to be at a show. Ask him to come up and cut off half of the deck of cards, as much as he wants. Then you keep this deck. You tell him you're going to turn your back so you can't see what's going on. While you're doing that, ask him to choose any card he likes in that half, anyone he feels good about, anyone that just strikes his eye, then ask him to put it on top of his pile. As soon as he's done that, turn back around, take his pile, drop yours on top, and you're ready to go. Now, ask him to place the deck of cards behind his back. Then, he's going to take a card off, turn it over so it'll be the only face-up card, and he's going to stab it anywhere into his deck of cards, anywhere he likes. Then, when he searches through the cards to find it, he's going to find that out of 1,000 to 1 chance, he happened to stab his card right beside the card that he originally chose, which is impossible to do when it's behind your back and you can't see it. Now, here's how the secret works. What you do is have your friend come up, ask him to cut off half the deck. When you turn your back, so you supposedly can't see what he's doing, you play with your cards a bit and you set them up. Ask him to choose any card he likes. Let's pretend he picks the 8 of spades. Remember that card, the 8 of spades. Now, that's sitting on the top of his pile. While your back is turned, you do this. Turn the bottom card of your pile facing up, and then the second card from the top facing up. That's all you do, just the second card from the top and the bottom card. Now you're ready to go. When you turn back around and you go to get his pile, you drop yours on top of his, and now the trick is ready to be finished. Ask him to put the deck of cards behind his back so he can't see it, and ask him to remember which side is up. So he'll put it behind his back and he'll be holding it. Then you ask him to hand you the top card. So he'll bring this card out in front and you hold on to it. Now, using this card to illustrate what he's supposed to do, you tell him, take the next card off the top of the deck, which will be this one, turn it over so it's the only face-up card, and stab it anywhere into the deck. Now, when you're doing this, he'll believe that he'll be doing the same thing, but actually, he'll be taking that card you turned over, turning it over so it's face down again, and shoving it anywhere into the deck, which means it'll be lost. Now, the only card that'll be face up in the deck is that one that was on the bottom that you sat right on top of his chosen card. So now what happens is, you hand the deck to him, ask him to go through the cards, and when he comes to the face-up card that he supposedly stabbed into the deck, ask him to turn over the next card, and lo and behold, it's the 8 of spades, the same one that he originally chose. Now, whenever you're doing card tricks like this, make sure you do it once and then put the cards away. Don't do it a second time, because that's often how people catch on. Have fun with this one. Ta-da!
This is a First Choice Superchannel special presentation. First Choice Superchannel is proud to present this program, which is suitable for viewing by all ages.
Magic, dry ice, take 2. Some say the world will end in fire, and some say in ice.
If the atmosphere of this planet decided to freeze solid tomorrow, it would come out looking a lot like this. This is dry ice. What it really is frozen carbon dioxide, which is what makes up about 80% of the atmosphere of our planet. This stuff is really cold. It operates at about 170 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. It is stuff you don't want to touch with your bare hands or get too close to. It's stuff you can only buy in certain places. Refrigeration supply houses is one, meatpacking plants sometimes is another. It's stuff that goes out of its way to evaporate as quickly as possible. It's just dying to run away on me. In fact, this was a huge bag about 4 hours ago that's now down to what you see sitting here. So you have to buy it just before you use it. So of what possible earthly use is this stuff? Well, the one thing you can do with it that comes in handy if you're into making movies is this. This is a pot of boiling water that I've tossed the dry ice into. Because it operates at such cold temperatures, and because it wants to evaporate so quickly, it does really interesting things if you heat it up very, very fast. The end result is the foggy night in London town effect. Great for graveyard sequences and other horror movie fantasies. It lies very, very close to the ground, so you have to sort of keep reinforcing it. It's also wet. So you want to make sure there's nothing down there that's going to be damaged by being made moist. And it's not something you want to lie around in for too long. It being pure carbon dioxide, it sort of doesn't have terribly much oxygen going on down there. So be aware of that. But you can have a lot of fun with it. It's a very inexpensive effect. Handled properly with some common sense, it's a very, very safe one. Go to your library to find out a little more information about how to work with this stuff. You can use things like an electric fan to dissipate it or blow it around your set. There are some machines on the market that use this kind of material. They have a vacuum cleaner hose that it comes pouring out of. That's the kind of thing you can build yourself if you're into it. There are a lot of other neat little things you can do with it too. Remember, wear gloves when you're working with it, work quickly with it, and have a good time. It's a great deal of fun. It's also handy for the famous transformation sequence, but that, of course, is another segment. Cheers.
Magic, backlight compositing, take 22.
Well, now that you're halfway through building your optical printer, I've got to let you in on a little secret. You don't always need an optical printer in order to do these kind of multi-camera composites. Actually, not everyone uses blue screen or those kind of techniques either. We're playing around here with something called front-light backlight compositing. This is an approach that does use an optical printer, but doesn't have to. It can be done in the camera as well. It's the method that effects houses like those of Douglas Trumbull, who did the special effects for 2001 and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, use. And rather than blue screen, what they do is they'll shoot two passes on the model involved. One of them is key lit like this. It's just shot against a black background, and what you end up with in the frame, of course, is the model doing its motion control move through a black frame. That's called the foreground or beauty shot. That's the actual shot that we want to insert. But because film is transparent, because one layer of film when laid over another layer of film just results in things shining through both. If you put this, just a shot of this guy over a star field, you'd end up with a star field and a spaceship with lots of stars showing through it. It's necessary to produce an element that we can use that has the same shape as the spaceship, but is still blacked, so that we can lay that over the star field when we lay down the star field on a piece of film and protect a certain area of it into which we are eventually going to want to drop the spaceship shot. That's where the backlight part of the compositing comes in. Because what they do is when they're finished shooting the foreground part of the shot, they will actually lose the black background, like so, and backlight the very same shot. Then a motion control move or any other type of camera move that is required is done once again on the model. It produces exactly the same frame, only you can see the model is now in silhouette, and the surrounding area is clear, which of course in film is transparent. Now, if we were to take our starfield shot and bypack this guy or load this guy into the optical printer at the same time and run them through onto a new piece of film, we would end up with a starfield with a spaceship-sized hole in the middle of it in exactly the same position as our beauty pass on the spaceship is eventually going to appear. Then when we drop the beauty pass in, we of course now have a piece of film that has the spaceship exactly filling that hole, and the surrounding area is black, so we're protecting the area we've already laid the starfield down in. Front light, back light compositing, or double pass compositing. It doesn't necessarily take an optical printer, although that's the approach Doug Trumbull uses. This can be done in the camera merely by winding the film back for each new pass. It's a meticulous and very careful process, but with a certain amount of practice, if you play around with it, you can definitely get it right and get some really nice pictures out of it. Lots of luck and have fun.
From Maine to California, from Muleshoe, Texas to Miami Beach, Florida, Superchannel asks the Canadian question. Who is Wayne Gretzky?
Founder of Quebec.
Wayne Gretzky? I don't know him.
Wayne Gretzky. I don't know. Is he a hockey player?
Outside long shot hockey player.
Wayne Gretzky's a soccer player.
A governor?
He's a famous baseball player for Canada.
Wayne Gretzky. I never heard of Wayne Gretzky.
He's not president or prime minister or whatever, is he?
He's a goalie.
He invented mucklucks.